Hey, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Just taking a little break here from the computer and decided to take a walk here down by the canal. It's absolutely beautiful. Saturday afternoon, getting some sunshine. But listen, I know some of you right now aren't having a very easy time. Life is hard for a lot of reasons, for a lot of you. And just want to let you know, man, just keep going. Just keep moving forward, just keep going. Because no matter how difficult life can be right now, what you're going through, you know, you can make it past this. You can go through this. And you can come through better. You know, I was reminded that there's a lot of things that are hard in life. Making a move is hard. Starting a business is hard. Doing something different, expanding, growing. You know, getting out of our comfort zone, moving to Belize, right? That's hard. No doubt about it. You know, there's nothing easy. It's not like, you know, and maybe I make it seem easy in my videos. Maybe I make, oh man, just book a plane ticket, go down, rent an apartment. Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff is easy. But still, there's the mental difficulty, you might say, the challenge of, you know, just the worry that comes with everything, right? The natural anxiety, like, oh man, should I be doing this? Is this going to work out? You know, what if it doesn't? How am I going to support myself? Where am I going to live? Am I going to make the right decision? You know, that's what's hard. You know, all the second guessing, so to speak. You know, all the conflicting advice. When you get on the internet and you try to do some research and you just come up with, you know, 1,000 different opinions on what you should do. That's hard, right? No doubt about it, that's hard. But you know what? When it seems a little hard, when it seems a little difficult, you know what you do? You do it anyway. You know, you just move forward. You do it anyway. You're nervous, you're afraid, you do it anyway. And that's the key. I guess that's the point of the video today, is that, you know, sometimes you're just going to wake up and you're not going to feel it. You're going to have, you know, lots of things that are stressing you out, lots of things that just aren't going your way. You know, you're hitting roadblocks, obstacles, one after another. And you think, man, you just feel like throwing in the towel, throwing up your hands and saying, you know what, forget it. I guess I'll just stay right where I'm at. You know, when you have those days and you're just not feeling it, take a step forward and you just do it anyway. You know, are you afraid of moving to Belize? Now, be honest, right? Put in the comments below. You know, I'm nervous, I'm afraid. This is different for me. I've never done anything like this before. That's okay, you know what? Book the plane tickets anyway. Get on the plane, arrive in Belize, rent an apartment for a month. Do it anyway. You don't know where you want to be yet? Doesn't matter. Get down there and figure it out, man. I'm telling you, you're never going to regret doing it anyway. And don't let small things get in your way. Let me give an example. When Steph and I were looking for another boat in Michigan, we had kind of outgrown the one we were in, and we were looking at getting something a little bigger, something we could spend the night on, travel further distances, a little bit more comfortable for staying on for a week or 2 or 3 weeks at a time. I remember I took my dad and we went to look at a beautiful boat listed in the newspaper at that time. This is going way back to around 1997, 98, something like that. And found this beautiful boat, 225 Sundowner with a cuddy cabin. Absolutely beautiful. Teal, white, great camper canvas. Still remember to this day. And he was asking 25 to 27. Well, I had in my mind that I wasn't going to pay anything more than 19,000. And I get there and he opens the garage and it is absolutely stunning. And we go back and forth and he settled on 22,000 and he wouldn't come down a dime off 22,000, right? So I said, sorry, 19's my price. And told my dad, let's go. We got in the van and started driving back home, and my dad looks at me and he says, you really don't want that boat? I said, yeah. I want that boat. He said, what's the difference between 19,000 and 22? I said, you know what, you're right. Turned the van around, went back, bought it, put it on the trailer that day, and took it home, and it was mine. And you know, to this day, I had that boat for I think 3 years before we sold it. And those 3 years we had that boat, we went more places in Michigan and had more memories. I remember staying at the marinas in Elk Rapids and Sutton's Bay, Traverse City. If you guys are from North Michigan, you know the area. It's absolutely stunning. Some of the most beautiful waters in the United States of America. I remember one day we were way out in the middle of Lake Michigan. We had taken the boat from Leland out to the islands of Manitou, North Manitou, South Manitou. And on the way back was August. About 1:32 in the afternoon, just a gorgeous day. Sunshine, about probably 95 degrees, and just still. Took the boat back. We were out about 6 miles from land, and just killed the engine, cranked up the stereo tunes, popped open a beer, and I tell you what, just floated for 2-3 hours in the middle of Lake Michigan. To this day, I'll never forget that. Came back into the marina, showered up, got cleaned up, went to a really nice restaurant called the Tapawingle. We consider that like a 3-star here in Europe. And just the memories that we were able to make on that boat. You know what? Now you think back, you know, my dad looking at me and going, "Do you want the boat?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "What's the difference between 19 and 22? It's like, "You're right, let's do this. Do it anyway." So the reason I bring this up is because, you know, a lot of you, we're jumping on these Zoom calls and we're talking about properties in Belize. And you already have a budget of mind, which is good. You need to have a budget and you need to buy what you can afford. But, you know, sometimes the property could be like, you know what, you want to afford something in the, let's say, $35,000 or $40,000 range. Fine, we'll work on that, no problem. But if you find something that really, really catches your eye for 55 or 75, you know, what is that? You're looking at owning this property for the next, what, 10, 15, 20 years, right? You're going to use it. Your kids are going to use it. You might even give it to your grandkids. You know, what's the difference if you pay $40,000 or $75,000 for the property alone, knowing that you're still going to go ahead and you're still going to build a house and you're going to landscape it. You're going to have flights down all the time. So, you know, for an extra little bit of money, now, if you can't afford it, that's one thing. You know, work within your budget. Always work within your budget. You know, and never lose money. You know, Warren Buffett's rule, never lose money, right? So find a property you can afford, but don't get to the point where you're like, you know what? I only wanted to spend this property is this, and walk away. If you do that, if you don't do it anyway, then where are the memories going to come from? You know, if I never bought that boat, $22,000, man, back then, that was a great price, right? I mean, imagine getting a boat like that for $22,000 today. Same boat would probably cost $45,000, $50,000. If you don't invest the money and get whatever you need to make the return, to make the memories, you know, what are you left at the end of the day? You know, if I would have passed up on that boat, if I would have passed up on the boat that I had in Belize, you know, thinking, oh, you know what, I don't want to spend the money. I have to repair it. I have to, you know, dock it. I have to put gas in it, you know. You guys spend money on everything else in life that doesn't have any lasting benefits. Spend a little bit of money, make some memories, put some excitement in your life, right? Put some fun, put something in there that, you know what, you're gonna go, wow, this is just amazing. So just a little message to you guys today, because like I said, I know some of my friends out there and other ones, and I was talking to some really good agents that I'm friends with on the island. So, you know, some of the people are having a rough time. The country's been shut down since March. Yes, I know. Just opened back up, but still, you know what? Things don't get better overnight. So we were talking, so, you know what? I really feel for those who are having a rough time. It's no joke. 220 is no joke for a lot of people. And yet, if you're watching this video and you find yourself in a little bit of a better position, and you have the means to move forward with something, or the desire to move forward, and you're just trying to work it out, you know what? Work it out, but do it anyway. I told the story before, when Steph and I moved to Belize, I didn't have any of this figured out. I told Steph I can give you a year. In reality, I didn't even know how I was going to give her a year, right? But I said, you know what? I'll give you a year in Belize. We moved July 3rd, 2003. I thought I would be able to give her a 1 year. Well, didn't have it figured out. Kind of did the back and forth thing. Worked in the United States for a bit, came back to Belize, kind of bounced around back and forth. When we moved from the mainland to San Pedro, I didn't have that figured out. I had enough money for, I think it was 2 months rent and some food. And if it didn't work out within those 2 months, we were back in the US looking to build our business or do something else or just go back to a 9-to-5. Didn't know. Ended up meeting what became a fantastic friend, a good business partner, helped me get into the real estate business, and that just opened up some incredible doors. But if I didn't go to Belize in the first place, book the trip down, do the sightseeing, do the tour, see where I wanted to live, go back home, sell off everything, come back to Belize, move to the mainland, still not having his stuff figured out, move to San Pedro, still not figuring it all out, ended up, you know what? My life is completely different now than it would have been if I didn't take the chance, right? So this is all just to say, guys, you know, it's a beautiful Saturday. Sun is shining. The world is still turning. There's a lot of people that are suffering today. This COVID-19 thing has a lot of people just going through all sorts of problems. We understand that, but we also know that we're gonna be able to make it through this. We're gonna get through. Got my mask on, right? So we're being safe. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna be okay. And Belize is going to be there, and now is an opportune time, if you can do it, to take advantage of it. Why? Because right now there is a huge backlog of demand for properties in Belize. Remember, it shut down, I think around March 2nd, March 3rd. So that means no tourists were there. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Just now in October, some have been able to come back. And even those that were able to come back have not had the freedom to land in the country, jump on a golf cart or rent a car and go off and see different properties and meet with real estate agents. You know, they're not going to really be able to do that for a while, even though right now they say as of last Monday, the country now is opened up. It's not really opened up, right? So what I'm saying is there's going to continue to be this backlog of people that want to come down, that want to experience the Belize, that want to look at property to buy. And so if you're in a position to buy now, before they get there, right? So before these people start coming back in mass, in droves, and that's not going to happen for a while, because even once the country opens up in, let's say, January, February, March, right? It's not going to see the kind of mass tourism that we've seen in past years, because a good number of people, rightly so, just don't feel comfortable in traveling right now, right? Maybe they have some loved ones that are at risk, or maybe they just don't feel comfortable, wearing the mask all the time. They just want to wait. That being said, the demand, all of a sudden, it's going to catch up. And I don't know if it's going to catch up in January, February, March, April, May, June, July of next year, but at some point, when people start coming down en masse, they're going to be prime property again for those who have the desire to wait and see what they're getting with their feet on the ground. Now, the good thing is for a lot of my clients, and you know this from watching these videos for the past 6 months, is that a good number of my clients do not need to see the property with their literal eyes. They buy off of maps, videos, Google Earth, all sorts of things like that. Referrals, watch my YouTube channel coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to be interviewing a slew of clients who have purchased property in the past 6 months. I'm going to be asking the questions like, why did you buy, where you bought, what is your intention with the property, just all sorts of things, so you can see that if you're someone who says, you know what, man, I so want to buy something, but I just can't get down there yet. What should I do? You know what? Do it anyway. If you get a good enough deal, you're not going to get hurt, for one. You're going to be so happy that you bought it, just like when I bought that boat. And if you come down, let's say in a rare event, and you know, in 15 years of doing this, I've never, ever, not one time, sold a client a property online where they've come down, they've walked to the property, and they said, oh, what is this? This is not what I expected. Not one. 15 years, that should tell you something. All right? So if that were to happen, if you were to come down and say, you know what, Dennis, the property you sold me, I'm just not feeling it here. I would rather be somewhere else. No problem. I'll sell the property that you bought. You know, we'll get you back on that one, and then we'll put you into something else, right? It's as easy as that. It's not a big deal. So all this to say, guys, do it anyway. Do it anyway. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You will regret it if you don't move forward. Because a year from now, you'll be in the same position. And 5 years from now, you'll be in the same position. They say, you know what? Do you want to know what your life is going to look like in 5 years? Look at what it's like right now And if you don't change anything, if you don't do anything different, then in 5 years, your life is going to look exactly like it looks like right now. So what are you going to do? Do it anyway. Be well. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.